Hello everyone! I hope you're having a wonderful night. Welcome back to Let's Play, to a special episode of Let's Play. And special not because it's the 30th one, it's special because today we'll begin a victory lap, a trip across entire Talos I with the aim to find or fabricate over 92 Neuromods and gain all of the abilities that are available in the game in order to proudly call the economic run a success. Enjoy. And we'll begin with the lobby itself, because, well, we're already in the lobby, and also it's probably the easiest one to do so. I think I'm going to be focusing on this corner here, because there's already remains of nightmares, and that's a good start. And this whole scavenging process will be surely a good way to give us a chance to talk. So I'll clarify quickly what this economic run is about. For those that were not sticking around for the whole thing, I'm basically playing the whole game trying to achieve every single Neuromod that there is. And in order to do that, I'll need to find 92 more Neuromods, like I already said. And I'm not giving up before I finish. I refuse to give up before I finish. I'm doing this. I'm not going to let go until I have some, something decent, or at least close to decent. I've already searched the entire station, cleared every single location out of the obvious stuff, out of the obvious Neuromods, out of the obvious collectibles. We've found every single dead drop, and no, definitely most of the hidden stuff. All that's left is me, my abilities, and corpses. And of course, still the other Typhon that still exist out there, and of course, recycled charges. I might sound like someone really desperate, but we have 92 Neuromods to fabricate. And that might not sound like a lot, but it's an unbelievably large amount of Neuromods. In order to make 92 Neuromods, apart from mineral and synthetic material, which I have plenty of, as well as organic, of course, you have to amass exactly. Oh wait, I have this written down. I'll be dragging these body parts. Who's this? Alice, you're coming with me, and in the meantime I'll look through my notes. I have some notes here. I actually made it because it's so, the numbers are so worrying and so, I feel so small when I look at these. So first of all, we have 276 exotic material to find, and you might be thinking, oh well, there were many of these recycler sessions during which you had like 50, so 276 can't be that much more. It's just 5 times this. Well, 276. In order to get 276, you need either 2300 organs, Typhon organs, or twice as much mimic tumors, about 307 Typhon plasma, or 307 Typhon ganglion, the thing from paths, 154 Typhon cortexes, the things from the nightmare, those big thingies from the nightmare. And of course, that's just them. We will be mixing all of them in order to be successful. But my god, that's so many. Can I move these around? Oh yes, I can. Oh well, I'm gonna get desperate in this playthrough. I can already see myself knocking all of the Typhon pieces in this place just to recycle them all. Anyway, you can count the amount of material you can receive from every single Typhon organism. You can count that, well, simply by counting the amount of organs they drop. So basically, I've counted that in order to get 276 exotic material, I would need to kill 575 phantoms, 103 weavers, telepaths, or technopaths. That's 103 for all of them. 36 nightmares, 2,300 greater mimics, or 4,600 normal mimics. So when I first look at those numbers, I was feeling, oh god, I'm not going to make it. There's no way. There's not, even if there were 575 more TranStar employees, if they all were dead, if there all were corpses that I can transform into phantoms, there is no way I'll be able to get them, to get this many organs. Well, I have to say, I mostly rely on Nightmare to show up, but I'm not gonna say no to some phantoms, from which I will definitely harvest some. And I see there is some pieces of stuff over here. Trevor Young has left. That's good. That means he's alive. Oh, there's some more corpses around here. And of course, we'll also be visiting locations again. I'll definitely go to Psychotronics, because I'm pretty sure there's a lot of poltergeists in there, and poltergeists will... Typhon organs. Why would I say no to Typhon organs, right? So yeah, as I was also saying before already, this victory lap will give us a chance to talk a little bit. Did I throw him down? Yes, I did. Poor body parts. Actually, I don't know. I have a few things to talk about. So first thing, since we're dragging all these buddies, and I think I'm dragging Bianca Goodwin right now, right? Yeah, I think so. I'm honestly starting to feel very weird when I drag all these bodies around. Almost like I was trying to hide some murder, but in fact I'm gonna do something that TranStar probably would start doing either way.
In the cafeteria from 6 to 8 p.m.
You know, since TranStar was already using killing people to feed mimics, why wouldn't they use the, you know, after, you know, they were testing these experimental mods on Morgan, basically. So if they would test the Typhon Genesis mod long enough, if they would test Typhon Genesis enough, they would, I think they would definitely start doing the thing that I'm about to be doing, that is transforming corpses into phantoms, and then use these corpses to get more body parts. In order to be efficient with all of this, I'll have to find some easy way to kill these guys. You know, the phantoms that I make. Of course, I can, you know, nail them down with some psi abilities, and that's probably what I'm going to rely on mostly. You know, I was honestly thinking I'll be able to, I would be able to rush this before Mooncrash was out, and you see how I was, you know, wrong on that. It's been 2 months since its release. Well, not yet 2 months, close to 2 months, but a lot of time nonetheless. So what do you think? Do you think TranStar would go as far as to killing people for to breed mimics and then turning these corpses into phantoms? This sounds like a lovely idea. This sounds like a lovely idea that reinforces itself. So I think this would be inevitable. After all, I figured it out, you know, like not much longer, not much after I started using the Phantom Genesis for the first time. So I guess, you know, TranStar board of directors that was, you know, just pure geniuses at the time. I guess they wouldn't take even as much to notice all of that. So here we have an example of how similar are these models. I mean, there are more. There are many. Wait, Jimenez? That's the lady that says speaker is still on when you're in the simulation, isn't she? Well, the problem I have with Phantom Genesis is that it's loud. It's really loud. I wonder if I'll be able to pull all of this off. I mean, sure, it's a little bit ham-fisted there, but I don't think it's the worst thing ever. I'm just simply, you know, walking around, using the things that are in-game. I'm not glitching anything. I definitely feel less guilty than any of the guys that do any percent speedruns. As you can see, the Psycho Shock deals half of the health of his health, so I guess 2 are going to be enough. The problem with this is going to be that they're gonna be falling apart a lot, and we're gonna have to, you know, like put them a bit closer together in order to not waste much of the other things. Oh, I didn't unlock this place. Secure pharmaceutical. Hell yeah, maybe there is a Neuromod or something. If there is, hell yeah, I want the first Neuromod. That's Psyhypos, that's also some... And test tube, that's also some exotic. That's a sink, that's a restoration of exotic. And we have our first Neuromod, that's one step closer to the goal. And Bethino. Bethino. Now, I don't know how I'm going to split this, because I don't know how I'm going to cut this, because I honestly, truly think this will take, like, you know, like genuinely, like, couple hours to complete. And it's, you know, it's, of course, it's understandable, but at the same time, holy crap. I'll have to, you know, edit this like hell. And, you know, the commentary is gonna be like partially live and partially completely not live. So expect to be lied to a bit. I mean, how much of lie is there? I'm just talking, you know, it's like saying that Leafy lied to you. Well, maybe that's not a good example, but... I mean, I don't have much against Leafy, except he's a bit... what can I say about Leafy? I think everyone has said everything that there is to say about Leafy. It's a little obnoxious. I don't think it's exactly my thing, the commentary videos, but hey, I guess I'm making one right now. Damn, a third flaming one. Alright, you get a head spike again. And I'll drink some more until I have full psi. And then we can play some more, you know? Play some... Fuck, you know? I mean, I appreciate that you fight back with jump scares. But man, you goddamn bastard. That's it for this place. For this bunch. Recycle the bits and pieces. As you see, we get a little bit, a tiny bit of material. That's yet another one. That's more than the organs that I harvested from these 3. Anyway, one of you guys gets raised. And we have ourselves an etheric one. Don't knock things over, you bastard. You don't... That's not what you have to do. Anyway, I feel like I owe you some explanation for the...
Good evening, Talos. Dr. Hadley Dalton will deliver a supplemental seminar on neural connectomes
I didn't
in the Lobby
know
Training
that
Center later
Etheric
this week.
Phantom has more health than the
Space is limited, so
thermal
reserve your seat by
I guess it
emailing
makes
Dr.
sense
Dalton.
considering that thermal has more, you know, damage dealing potential. Do we have someone disabled on board? I mean, this is clearly for the disabled, but I mean, I guess Doll is disabled right now, so I guess we'll have to transform him into a phantom as well. So I feel like I owe you a tiny bit of explanation for the previous video, for, you know, what I meant by Prey being cinematic and Prey hurting me while being not cinematic. What I mean by that. So what did I mean by Prey not being cinematic? Well, sometimes, and I think you can agree, there are those, you know, Prey is obviously filled with choices that do matter. in one way or another, because, you know, end game and all this stuff. So what I'm trying to say is that there is a ton of these important choices in Prey, seemingly important, but, well, all of them are technically important, and some of those choices are just so painfully one-sided. Like for example, helping people in cargo bay, right? There's tons of reasons why you would help people in the cargo bay, and if you refuse to help them, if you decide to kill them, there's not really much things interesting happening after that. So that kind of choice, there is this choice, but one of the things that you can choose has an immediate impact on the game, and you can see that impact and be like, whoa, I really changed something. And the second choice is not interesting at all, and is only, you know, it only makes sense at the end of the game. For example, showing Michaela the recording of her father is infinitely more interesting and more complex and has more stuff to it than deleting it. And that's what I'm talking about, the Prey sometimes being not cinematic, and that's so frustrating when that is. For example, leaving Dal, you know, letting Dal survive, allowing him to survive, is really interesting afterwards, because you gotta help Igwe sedate him. Then you are there when you remove the Neuromod, and after all, it's a really interesting thing. And then you can other time you can go at him with shotgun like I did, and just be the most unimpressive, disappointing thing in the world. He just dies. There's nothing more to it. There's Igwe calling you that, oh no, there's no, without Dal there is no way off the station, and nothing more to it. And it's, you know, and of course in the long run it has an impact, and an important one at that, but it doesn't have the immediate one, and that makes me, you know, it doesn't work just as good. And whenever that happens, I'm like, oh god, hang on, I can make it more cinematic, let me try again. And then I go ahead and then I try to do some crazy weird stuff, like for example throwing someone off the stairs so that he falls all the way down. I remember once I played it when I killed everyone, and then he gave me that, you know, that option to kill some additional people for him, and then he would carry me home. So then, in the end, he just, after all, it appears to be another one of Dal's tricks. And he just then invites you to his, to the shadow bay, and you're being, you know, like, escorted by these operators that are now stationary. And then he's like, I'm sorry, but he doesn't even say that he's sorry. He just says that I'm not going home, but I already knew that, and you know, things, something like that. And it makes you feel angry. You think that it's going to be some epic battle, and it is some kind of battle, but the epicness of it depends entirely on you, whether you'll use many of your abilities or not, whether whether you do something awesome or not. You can, I for example, that's what I was trying to say at first, I made it so that I kind of made him like kind of dizzy for a second with something. It wasn't a zapper, because zapper would knock him right out. And then I used the kinetic blast to throw it out that window from that control room, and then he fell to the ground, and then I fell on his head with the DFI, and that was one of the most epic deaths of all time. last body
HR would
to
like
raise.
to remind you that if your personal data has changed since the previous pay cycle, please contact him immediately.
And it's gonna be
Mr. Tucker's
another
office is on the
Eteric.
2nd floor of the lobby.
So that's what I call cinematic prey. There's many other examples when prey can be really cinematic, but other times it's just not interesting. I get that it's not possible that everything is interesting, but there's so many things that happen like this. Look at this, we got our first black circle. Let's recycle it all. Well, that's only the half of the good stuff. I was hoping that this will get recycled. Alright, don't mind if I do. That's not so bad. And later on we can also check out this stuff, because, well, right now we can't even track them, because they're no longer existing. But those are the bodies that we found. This guy's off station. These are those 4 people that Dahl sends you to kill. These 4 are those ones. I'm afraid you can't find them, and it's not really possible to get them, which is kind of bullshit when there are going to be those straight lines everywhere. Oh, there's the guy. So yeah, I'm not gonna use any more recycler charges, but I'm going to raise another phantom, definitely. And here he is. I can still carry him when that happens. I wonder if I can stop. I wonder if I can stop the transformation once it's started. I don't think I can, but I'll try to interrupt it next time I get the chance to. So as you see, we can use those terminals to kind of make sure we got every single body that is around here. I'm looking for every single body now that has location in Talos I Lobby. If any of them have no line signs above them, that means they've failed. Anyway, you should be somewhere around here if I've missed you, but I didn't. You done. You done. Alright. So yeah, now in the whole game you really rarely hear the... Oh, there he is. Alright, so Laura McAvoy and this guy still exist here. So I technically could... You know, let me check one thing.
Destroy the station? But didn't you hear him? The null wave. Alex is correct. It could work. And preserve what we have learned here. We have to try. Morgan, please. There's so much to lose. Destroying the station, that should be the final option, not the first one.
Dr. Igwe, this is the only course of action with a significant probability of success.
You don't know that! Why am I arguing with a machine with nothing to lose? Morgan, the null wave. The science is sound. Trust your brother on this. Please. Morgan.
Me, yes.
Morgan.
Me, yes. So, from what I see, I can't really be making anything else, to be fair, because I need, even with this, I need, for 92 Neuromods, I need, I need 92 organic, as well as 184 metal, and 184 synthetic. That's a ton of things, to be fair. I mean, I think we can do that. I think we can nail it, but it's worrying. It's worrying. It's worrying as hell. Let's actually recycle all the stuff that we've collected from the lobby.
I don't understand.
You know, there's a lot of things not to understand about this economic run. It's a pretty complex thing, but look, we've gained a bunch of things. So let's turn it into Neuromods before something bad occurs. 1, 2, 3, 4. We got the Neuromods. We got the Neuromods, Igwe. We got the Neuromods. Hopefully you can find some for me. January, you said something about collecting Neuromods for me and you still haven't donated me any. Can I get access to this locker? I want the thing that is inside, you know, that shotgun thing. Yeah, that would be pretty cool. We found 5 mods. That means we can get whatever the hell we want to right now. For example, super thermal, because that's going to be good against nightmare. Yes. Is this going to summon nightmare? Yes. You know what? To be fair, that's a problem. First thing I gotta do, of course, is to Psycho Shock him so that this won't happen. And now that you're properly disabled, I need to jump. Whoa, that's a lag. Alright. Let's prepare the super thermal. That's good. That's very good. That's very good. That really looks powerful, I gotta say. What I have to do now is use the kinetic blast. Blast you away, and there's no easy way to stun you. Don't liquid through the door. Ah, he's liquidizing through those doors. It's time for another Psycho Shock for him. Alright, good thing you've shot the thing on the floor. I still have enough power for another mine. And please burn to death. You can burn to death. I think you can do that. So yeah, we managed to defeat him just with our mind already, which is pretty impressive, I gotta say. Let me knock these body parts that way so I can recycle them properly. You probably can't believe that I'm pushing a single phantom body towards this pile of exotic material. But you know, it helps. It helps a lot, and I have just only 16 more. That sounds like a lot, but in fact it's not a lot at all. And this thing is just, well, 50. That's not a lot either, but that's always half of one, and half of one is always good. I didn't unlock this one. That's strange. I thought I unlocked it. Probably I skipped it because I didn't have the Neuromod at the time. Oh well, I have it now, so I should be able to unlock it. And there are 4 Neuromods inside that save us so much trouble. We have a broken one in here, but we can fix that with only 4 spare parts. And let's stuff some things in there. Well, Cortex and 30 Typhon Organ. I was pretty sure that Nightmare was dropping 50 every time. I can always recycle that to get a minor boost. You know, wisely used Neuromods also serve as a Typhon lure. Apart from this obvious apart from mixed signals, they are also quite an efficient way of dealing with the problem. And you're really resistant to the fire damage. That's not 125 plasma. Call me crazy, but that's not 125 plasma. You're resistant to it. Alright, so Lobby is officially off our list. I'll write it down so that I won't get confused. So I'll make a quick section here in notes and call it "What's done?" question mark, underline, double underline. So Lobby is the first one to go here. I wanna check everything before I summon the Apex. That's why I'm making this victory lap right now, and not when Apex is here. When Apex is here, I want to, you know, have everything clean. I'm already shivering because it took me 40 minutes to just clear the first one. So let's get our guy going, and it's going to be a flaming boy, unfortunately, but that's not a problem. Oh, there's a normal thermal. I was so surprised for a second. I thought he attacked himself. But it was an other thermal attacking. And I see he's not doing too fabulous, so let's help him. Oh, oh, hey! You're not really a nice hey! There's so many of you! And you're tiny! You're the tiny mimics! Hey, 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 hey. Hey, hey, hey. Why are you looking at me like this? Why are you looking at me like this? Go away, please. I don't mean no harm. I'm just here trying to collect all the bodies. Hey. That's right, go away. I see you found me. Congratulations. Was it worth it? Because despite your violent behavior, the only thing you've managed to attack is me. Is this going to register as Coral? No? Alright, fine. I don't know why I can't use Coral no more, but I don't know, the game is probably bugging out again. It's so awkward waiting for them and killing them. Oh, did you know you can look at this place from up here? You can actually see the mimics before you get to them, and you can shoot them up. You can even turn... I could even go as far as to turn this guy into a... Never mind, I can't. Is there any turret I left behind here? Oh, there surely is a mimic. Let me drink a bit so that I restore some psi. Oh god! Hi there, poltergeists. I can hear you walking around here. Did I kill you? Yeah, the area is seriously so large that oh, it contains 8. So poltergeists contain way more organs than normal phantoms. That's interesting. I wonder why would they? Ah, another one. It wasn't. There was again this effect with water turning on. I wish I came back here before. There was a tumor, I remember. No, this is the only way to pick up a tumor in the game. Apart from, of course, throwing it down on the ground yourself from your inventory once you scrape it of a mimic. And there were body parts of mimics, but I think I've already recycled them when I first was here. Can you come over here? See, this is why I drag those bodies around so much, because the phantoms really don't seem to want to move themselves. If I just could stop smacking myself with those bodies, that would be just lovely. That's not the fact. Maybe for the best because it fell too far. Perfect. Perfect one. So yeah, we're gonna be doing that. If you were hoping for something actually more interesting than this from this victory lap, it's well, I think the most interesting part is that I finally get to express everything that I wanted to express. You haven't been here before, or was I blind? Yeah, both can be okay. You had a mimic tumor on you. That means he killed a mimic.
This should help.
Thank you.
You should feel more alert.
Thank you. You're a lovely, lovely lady.
Are we conducting an experiment today?
Yes, it's called a victory lap.
I'm afraid most systems are damaged or locked down at the moment.
I think no, not anymore. I unlocked most of them.
Dr. U profile indicates subject and researcher. Unusual.
I'm a subject and researcher. Yeah, because I...
Dr. U, your neural patterns show signs of Typhon integration.
Oh yes.
Our laboratory quality assurance plan is up to date. Primarily, I take readings and analyze data. I also provide reference lookups.
I really like the operator speech. You rarely get to hear them, and normally I would be afraid, but this time I'm actually going to use you to track down any evil things that may be around here. You did kill something, a greater mimic. Imagine like a angry neighbor shouting at another guy like this.
Dobra, uspokój się, nie rób wiochy na całe osiedle.
Mam tego dosyć.
Hey, you wanna play some dodgeball? I love me some Typhon dodgeball. Hey, look, he does not understand when I move in a straight line. Oh, but he understands how the ground looks like here. I can appreciate that. I think it's a good thing that actually there's finally a monster that knows pathfinding. I'm more aggravated that normal friendly things don't understand that pathfinding just as good. Anyway, I was really hoping for more poltergeists to be around here. I always remembered that there was like a shit ton, like a metric shit ton of poltergeists. I mean, always when Dal arrives. Nothing new, I suppose. I remember breaking this window, it's now back intact. I wonder why. Did someone fix it? I kind of doubt it. Maybe some phantoms fixed it, because they liked the jump scare. That's quite a cool idea. There's so many phantoms around here. No show, mate. No show for you. And there's another one on the other side. I wanna get him. Oh yeah, 200 damage. That makes things so much easier. That Neuromod made me so much better at things. What the hell? Are you up there? Oh, he's down there. And this guy is down there. Oh, did you? Oh, I just love the bloody way they move. You know, those elemental ones, you know, those fire and electricity, they all look badass, but they're not as majestic as those normal ones. I don't know how this guy was patrolling. Oh, there you are. Huh. I've never seen you wander around from one place to the other. It's a rare sight, I gotta say. How did I not notice you beautiful creatures? All dead in an instant. That looked marvelous. Did someone die under here, or did you collectively decide to hide from me? I sometimes feel like the Typhons start hiding from Morgan when I play Prey. I feel like they genuinely start fearing him. Like, no joke. And I would understand it. He's like a national enemy. Except there's not really a nation you can talk about because it's bloody Typhon. But I'll just shoot it. Did I managed to pull in a lot actually. Quite a bit of exotic material, to be fair. I'm surprised how much exotic material is not extractable from their bodies. From Mimic, you can literally gain more exotic material by recycling his body parts than from recycling their tumors and other stuff. You're down there, good. It's time to get the rest of you down there as well. And that's a Mimic. That's a Mimic, and you can get there by doing this. You're still walking around. Go follow the thing, the nightlights. It's been a while since I used nightlights as well. So that was interesting. Did you see that? I broke the tube. And then he what? Then he got unmimicked from the shattered glass. He mimicked shattered glass. I kind of call bullshit on that one. I wonder how I'm going to get around this, because this is the second hour of the tour. I'll either have to squeeze it into, you know, like couple parts or a single big one, but... You scared the shit out of me, you bastard. I literally froze in my own seat. All the way from the beginning of the game. Corey, please don't go viscera cleanup detail on me. That's not gonna be nice. It's gonna be very terrible if any of you get going like this. It's currently 2 AM, so it's exactly an hour since I started the run. The game, actually, if you didn't know, the game uses real time, except, well, it doesn't use real time of your computer, but it uses seconds, real seconds, and it has its own clock. Its own clock that goes every second you breathe. When you die, it gets set back to the moment when you last saved. And I should use this super jump of mine to get all the way up here, because there's a body of Sanjay, King Sanjaya from Lechia, and you were having a bright idea to hide in here, but unfortunately you failed like many others. So quest to desecrate every single body part across the station. We're basically doing a very good thing. We're cleaning the thing already before all the main problems are even done. I'm already cleaning. I'm doing a public service right here. I mean, it doesn't matter if we blow up the station, but it sure means something about Morgan if he really did that. I mean, of course, the way I play sometimes, especially this run, well, maybe not this run, because this run, I can safely say that during this run I was quite fair with what I would do in real life. I would save everyone I could. I would help Michaela get back on her feet. I would help Dr. Igwe. I would help in the cargo bay. Well, maybe in the cargo bay I wouldn't be able to help because I'm... well, let's begin with the fact that I never held a gun in my life. Oh, I have a cool idea. This might be actually a good way to kill you. Now, over here there's no longer many sinks. Holy shit! I was so surprised. I prefer it much more when they do that. When they just sit there waiting for a moment to strike. They don't go all berserker on you. When they do this, it's so unexpected, so cool. And let's make another body into a phantom. Next one I'll try to interrupt before it emerges. I always wondered what's in this pipe. Liquefied content, super cool. Is this some coolant or something? I mean, what's the reason for some of these tanks to be here? Why is this here? Is this just a ventilation system? Is this just some, you know, big ass ventilation system? It's so weird. That's actually how you can interrupt it. You can interrupt the transformation. Oh, that's cool. That's a little weird, to be fair, considering all the things. I mean, ether is like, what even is ether? Everything related to Typhon has something to do with ether, and it's and at this point I feel like ether is more magical than Typhon, their psychic abilities, or Coral itself. Oh look, that's Annalise Gallegos. She's so hot. Yeah. Look directly above him. If you look closely, you can see that the air wobbles from the heat. The air wobbles from the heat. That's such a cool, tiny detail that I love. And Prey has multiple details like that, and that's what makes it my definitely one of my favorite games, if not the most, if not my favorite game. And the way they move is like, and also the sound, everything about the Typhon works in this game, and I can't stress, I can't really say, I can't tell what's so majestic about those normal ones. I don't know. I don't like the Voltaic Phantom. I think that he's the least favorite of mine. I like Carl question marks. I like Termi, but Volty, I mean, he looks the least cool. And of course, my favorite ones are the normal ones. Speaking of Phantoms, I again wanted to talk about them a bit because Phantoms are, well, definitely while definitely they are interesting beings, it is said that they have no speech or whatever, or they don't understand the speech, only recreate the speech but do not understand it at all. If so, then I want to understand why is every single one of their voice lines related to the Typhon. All this speech may be related to anything. Why to Phantom? Why to the Typhon? Why do they say, you know, like when they are searching for you, I didn't find anything? Or, you know, you seem frustrated, or, you know, stuff like that. I mean, you seem frustrated is actually, sounds like, oh no. Oh. Do not block. Block with what? And why not block? If you were to block it, what would be the outcome? I can see a coral node out there. I wonder if I can scan it with the chipset, with the correct chipset. I don't know, maybe. I definitely know there are a few body parts in here. I know there's a body part of the guy that we killed. Oh. Look at this majestic creature. And he's the one, I think another reason why I so love these guys is that, I don't know, there's something so beautiful about them. And I know they're creepy. I know they're, you know, like terrible monsters, right? Scary, scary, terrible, terrible. But there's something so beautiful about them. And it's just can't resist. I even feel bad for destroying them because I would like to look at them forever. And there was this mimic that suicided again. Seriously, on this run, there's so many mimics that just decide to outright suicide. Early stages of Neuromod. Why do you still hang it around here? Maybe they wanted to use them in the future. It's hard to understand kinda how the Neuromod work in the first place. And if you didn't catch it, I can explain it to you right away. The way they work is actually pretty interesting. They have the connectome written, kind of written on top of them. Well, on top of them, I don't think saying on top of them is a good way of calling them, because they don't really have top, do they? But they have, you know, written inside them, yeah? That's such a bloody awesome effect. Is it scripted that when I walk here, he walks in front of the window, and there's this creepy sound? I love it! You have your 5 minutes. V13. Oh, fine job. Well done. You executed him in the correct spot. Yeah, that's a thing I've noticed. The electric ones do not teleport. All the other ones do teleport, the electric ones don't teleport, and I think that's not right. I think like teleporting and being, you know, swift is like the icon, the trademark of the Phantom. So why wouldn't they? That I don't understand. So anyway, recycler, a little overshot. A little pathetic, to be fair. I want to pile it in here. Thanks for the correct black hole. I love this effect. I love this effect that it gets into a black hole and then unblack holes itself. It's weird, it's creepy, it's awesome. And this ambient noise constantly with me throughout the whole game, throughout the entire Psychotronics. I see there's some... Are you trying to hack into something, military operator? Don't you know? Dal is already... Ow, you hit me directly in the head, you bastard! Stop it. 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 Ouch, you hit me. You actually hit me. Stop it. Anyway, there must be some corpses around here. Of course, there's actually a whole morgue of corpses. And how did I fail to notice you? Are you even existing anymore? I mean, by existing I meant, do they still work? Of course they don't. I can't get to those bodies, but I can definitely... Is this a furnace? Notice, no drink or food in this area. Alright, we'll get all the bodies there in the open, in the place where we killed the etheric.
N-CN9 Blackbox operator ready to deploy. Please stand clear of Aptitude.
What the fuck?
Requesting new operator.
Wait. What? No. No, this is a deal breaker.
Operator ready to deploy. Please stand clear of Aptitude.
Are you... Hey, I mean, you're docile. That's something. Oh, I turned this off. Ah. No, you're not docile. You're far from being docile. This appears to be still hacked by Caspar. Even though Caspar no longer exists. What is this supposed to be? Bloody weird thing. I honestly, truly have no idea what is going on with you. But I'm going to hack all of you so that no more of you spawns in. Why does the game still think that there's Caspar doing this? It's a bug that I report, and I hope I will get noticed and this will get fixed. That's all I want. Let's get more volunteers out in the place where we were going to execute them. I mean, executing bodies that are already dead. That sounds so bad. Oh, I never noticed that they all have these bracelets around feet. That sounds scary. That seems like something directly out of the prison. I also like the voice of the military operators. They're just a bit wimpy. I would think that you know, when there was a military, he wouldn't be like, you know, I'm a shit here. Echo found. I thought there would be like, you know, like something really deep, like. But then again, that would be creepy as hell. I mean, look at me. I'm saying that operators that sound weird are going to be creepy while killing, while transforming corpses of people into monsters and then destroying those monsters. That's creepy. So, not holding back anymore. We were talking about the Neuromods and how they work. So from what I understand, how they work is that they have some neural pattern, neural connectome installed on them, and then it when you install it, when you put it in your eye, it immediately starts to analyze your brain, the way your neurons are, the structure of your neurons essentially. It looks at it, and then it simulates. Then how would those patterns look like if you had a certain skill? And then once he's done that, then he tries to apply those connections, like, you know, like synthetically create them. My question is how. Well, the answer is given to you by January, who says all made possible by our friends from outer space. So I suppose in order to make those connections, those synthetic connections, you need exotic material, because for some reason it's good. It works good with neurons. It works good with your brain. Well, maybe it's because they have some, the Typhon have some, special pattern similar to humans, but yet somewhat better. I imagine that in order to put somebody's neurons, that person that you put would have to die, would have to give their brain to somebody, and they would have to extract those exact neurons from them, and then apply it to your brain somehow. Or I don't know. Maybe their neural structure is, somewhat more flexible. Maybe it's possible for a machine. Maybe Neuromod is essentially a machine that is able to use the neural structure of Typhon and adapt them somehow. Using the simulation that it made of how your brain would look with a certain ability as a reference. And I begin to question really their effectiveness. It's so weird. I create those piles, and for all of them, I require 10 of these.
Vital signs critical.
Well, that was stupid. I assume it needs to see. It needs to somewhat see. I guess that's how it works, but it still makes... it's so aggravating. Why would a black hole need to see something in order to destroy it? The recycler charge is something that's least consistent, I think. I mean, when used in combat. This thing should be lethal no matter how big the creature is. It should be lethal to a weaver, it should be, well, it should. It should be lethal to a phantom. It should be to any phantom, no matter how hurt. It should be lethal to a nightmare if correctly thrown. You can't just black hole unblack hole, right? That's against the rules. You can't fall into black hole and not get out. I mean, I know this is not exactly a temporary black hole, it just breaks down the objects, and I have 33, which means 11 Neuromods. Alright, so now we have how much? We now have 15 Neuromods, and that's great. We're doing fabulous so far, and I have high hopes. It would be really disappointing if we weren't able to make it. Alright, so we have some Neuromods to install. So we need to watch out with these, because each and every one can act as a nightmare lure. And nightmares donate us a really nice amount of exotic material, so we need to watch out for that. The thing I want to do as soon as possible is the human definitely. I think slow time, I don't use that. I unlocked it and I still don't use that. Stamina, yeah. I started to punch things a lot. I started to punch those body parts so that they are together. That's the only reason for me to upgrade that. That's kind of pathetic, actually. I like the lift field. Yeah, we're gonna do that. We're gonna do the lift field. And is Nightmare going to show up? I mean, he doesn't have to. I'm not gonna call him Nightmare in this place because that's a waste. If he doesn't want to come, well, that's his fault. I guess it's time to delve into the guts system. It's time to go to the guts. It's gonna be a problem in the guts because I can't raise Typhons in 0G. It's impossible. But there is a way around that. There is the magnetosphere into which I can throw these body parts. It's just gonna be really Annoying.
I could not repair myself.
Well, then don't get hit by a floating body. Another thing that I don't understand about physics of prey is that why these things sometimes slow down by themselves in 0G. There is nothing that would stop them. I mean, now wait, here there is air. So yeah, there is air friction, but air friction, come on. So yeah, we'll be slowly pushing more and bigger wave of these bodies. I don't understand why you're still moving. I mean, sure, again, magical ether. I don't understand the magic of ether. It's there, it's everywhere in the game, it's always there, and it's a great excuse for things. And I think that's like a bit of because well, you usually say because movie or because something, so I'm gonna say because plot. I think that's going to be quite fun. Saying because game, it has some more depth to it, because you also have to acknowledge some game physics and stuff like that, which is also weird. So I'm going to say because plot. This whole ether thing is a really handy thing, plot-wise. A very handy way of, you know, of escaping excuses. Some of them manipulate ether in more, you know, in more or less powerful way. So etheric phantom manipulates it a whole lot. Others manipulate it a little bit less. Weaver, for example, makes phantoms using it. And still, it's not really well explained in the game. It's just called a disruptive substance. So, but it still doesn't explain how it works. I mean, I understand that they're not, that the scientists that work here don't understand it either, but it doesn't change the fact that that it's a little annoying. Just a little bit annoying. I'm really sorry for both of you, but there is nothing else that you can be helpful with, and this is something that will actually help me. So, you know, if you take friction into account, the way these bodies move is not all that bad. What's that? And so 2 rogue operators, quite expectable. But I would love to see your creator. Oh, there he is. I didn't think he would be here. Alrighty then. That's not what I wanted to attack him with. I wanted to spike him like this. And then finish him off with the zappy. There. I think that's the most efficient way of killing those. The zappy. The zippity zappery. This horrible place. I hate the magnetosphere. I've already said that when I was first here, but I hate it. I hate it with my whole heart. And not just like, you know, oh no, magnetosphere, everything but the magnetosphere. No, I actually despise it. It's scary. It's scarier than all the Typhon. At least in my opinion.
Good to see you again, Dr. Yu.
Yeah, I don't like the fact that I'm walking in here. And I'm surprised that Weaver managed to sneak in, spread the coral, and die. That's a
Hello, Dr. Yu.
That's a some sort of
Warning. Plasma shockwave imminent.
This Weaver is actually right here. That's lovely.
Warning. Seek shelter. Plasma shockwave in.
What is going on? Oh, god damn you, mate. You scared. You scared me. Come on, let's get over to this Weaver, please. Whoa. I can do that too. What now? You don't look like you're so competent anymore. I'll just I have a bunch of stun ammo. Goodbye.
Warning, suit integrity damaged.
Good boy. Oh Jesus, this was a scary thing. And mostly because of those plasma shockwaves.
Seek shelter. Plasma shockwave in. Warning. Magnetosphere deactivated.
I'm glad I found a weaver, because a weaver is, you know, a weaver provides a lot of exotic material. All right, let's check every single location and look out for G.U.T.S. Kimberly, she looks like she's close. You are a hidey-hider. I wonder why you decided to hide so much.
Magnetosphere activated.
Oh no. We've checked all these people, we've checked the Psychotronics, we've checked the trauma center, cargo bay.
Should I change position?
Yes, you should. Deep storage, everyone from deep storage is in deep storage. Everyone from crew quarters is at crew quarters. Anyone from here in the guts? No. And power plants, at last, the final thing? No. So you guys must be the only people around here that are
Calibrating.
close to me. I really wonder how does this, what being a phantom is like. I wonder if they still have memories. So I was talking as well about them speaking. I find it hard to understand that they don't understand that they talk. From all the things Alex and everyone were talking about, this seems like all they are like a projection, an echo. So their thoughts and their speech is an echo, of course. But it's a really convenient echo, don't you think? So I guess they do know what they're talking about. I suppose they know what they are, and that seems terrifying. Because if that's the case, that means that they currently understand that I'm killing them. I wonder if they, what are they protecting? I assume they're protecting their creator. I assume they're doing whatever they can to help their creator. So since I'm their creator, they help me and attack my enemies. Meanwhile, the other guys, the phantoms made by weavers, are related to weavers. Because from what I understand, from what I've seen in Prey, from all that's been said and all the evidence that there is in the game, you can clearly see that they are clearly cooperating. The ecology is not just a thing that occurs on its own accidentally. They must understand the ecology because they're helping each other. They're like the soldiers. They're like the soldiers of the ecology. And I also like the fact that they call me sometimes out by my name, and that's absolutely terrifying because that confirms that they do understand the threat. That Morgan is a threat. And they also know his name somehow. And that's even more terrifying. And this thing malfunctioned again.
Magnetosphere activated.
Alright, fine by me. 030, 030, and I have 6 left. I have only 6 left. And this is bullshit. It's so terrifying how much bodies there is. And I think there was already this much coral when I first came here, but it always feels like it's more abundant. I don't know, it might be just me. So let's go over here and check for things. I still don't know. Wherever there's this location, where there's 0G, I have no idea if what the hell are you doing here? I mean, I'm not complaining, you're a great creature. You seem to be idle. For some reason it's been happening. You guys have like a massive problem with noticing me. I mean, how did that get past you? How did I just... I was using abilities like for 5 minutes on you, and you just ignored that. It was like, okay, this other Typhon are using abilities on me all the time. I'm like a scapegoat around here. Alright, let's bring you bastard to the place you gotta go. And I didn't pick up some things. Is this Radaway? Pass me that vodka. You look like Luther Glass, and the guy that says all the Typhon quotes. That guy looks exactly like you as well. And excuse me, I know I banged your head a bit, but well, this looks so creepy. Like, you know, dragging bodies across the floor is creepy enough, but throwing them around in 0G and they go like goddamn starfishes in one direction, like this. That's just scary. If you want to know how do I honestly feel about this place right now, I wanna gotta leave. I wanna leave. I wanna freaking leave. I've let go of you. No, I'll hold your hand, don't worry. I will never let go. You're coming with me. You're gonna be useful. You will live on until I murder the phantom that comes out of you. Then you probably won't live anymore in any form. Let's get in there. Oh, come on, get in there. Alright, you know, I'll pull you through.
Low gravity detected.
I'll gotta have to pull you through. Oh, yeah. The interesting thing about the naming system of all these guys is that, you know, they all kind of... I wonder how they got all these names. I mean, Mimic is obvious because they mimic other objects, but Phantoms must have gotten the name from their very origin. From the... it's, you know, because of how they're made. The researchers must have seen a weaver turn one corpse into a phantom, and Typhon Antra-Phantasmus, if you wanna be exact. And that's how they started thinking, well, that's something that came out of something that used to be human. So it's like a ghost. And ghost is close to a phantom. And then Poltergeist is also a ghost, but the one that's a little more creepy. Alright, let's leave Guts, because I'm tired of the 0G. I mean, it's cool and all, but it's tiring after a while, and definitely searching for bodies in 0G, bringing them to normal G, and then transforming them all is a tedious task, and I think I've did a lot. I don't know, if I'll be desperate I'll look for one more, but for now I'm fine with what I have. So yeah, since we're in the Arboretum, we have a lot of bodies to check out. So we'll do that. And right now we can already recycle the things we found. And we're getting closer and closer. Right now we have enough for 3 more Neuromods. The thing you know, I keep saying that I love Poltergeists, but I don't really explain why. I think it's obvious why I like the Poltergeists, but in case it's not, then I'll quickly explain it. It's because the fight with them is so complex. You can go you know, you can do it many different ways, but primarily you can listen for them and search for them using your hearing, and that's something I love about games. And this is something, you know, FNAF does the same, you know, thing basically, but that you have to listen. Listening is like the second most important thing in FNAF, not the first. But it's kind of ham-fisted. There's, you know, it's like if you listen, you won't die. But if you don't listen, you will die. And here you have a choice. It's not, you know, it's not something you need to do in order to survive, or, you know, it's an alternative way to fight that monster. Alternatively, you can just wait for him to attack and then, you know, fight him. Actually, I should be dragging these in the place where all the nightmares died. There's this thing over here. I'll call it graveyard of the fallen nightmares. So there's multiple ways you can fight him. Basically, you can listen for him. You can wait for him to attack. Alternatively, you can also simply, you know, shoot like crazy and hope you'll hit him. And on top of that, there's all these cool interactions where they, like, you know, turn the water on in the sinks, you know, make screens, make static on the screens, make, you know, scary, creepy noises. They look awesome. If you glue them up, they look so weird, you know, like very disproportional body parts, long arms, no legs practically. He's crawling around on the floor. That's the most creepy thing about him, I think. I mean, some would definitely disagree. He also sounds, this echoey voice is also something that gives me shivers down my spine whenever I hear it. Especially the first time we've encountered it in the Neuromod division at the 8th episode. So yeah, I really like him. I really like that monster, but I've said that multiple times already, but I felt that I need to clarify that. Plus, to be fair, every single monster in Prey looks the part. I mean, mimics, the way they walk, it's just, and the chittering, it's gonna stay in my head forever. The phantoms, as I already said multiple times, there's something magical about the Typhon. Their silhouette, the way they move, the way they walk, the way they make these creepy noises, the way they move when they fight you, the way their arms are shape-shifting, how twitchy they are, how, you know, the teleportation, the movement, it all works. It all works perfectly. It's a terrifying monster. If I'd seen something like this in the real life, I would probably die of fear before it would get to me and kill me. Elemental ones are not as good, but they're still pretty cool. There's certainly a lot of cool touches about them. The energetic one is basically a woo. You can't even get near him. How are you supposed to fight him? The etheric one is, there's two of them. You know, the first time he splits, it's such a shock. You're like, what the hell? There's two phantoms? And no, it's the same phantom. He's just doubled himself. Then there's the thermal one that is the most dangerous one out of all of them. I think he deals the most damage, except in a very specific way. Such a specific way that, you know, you need to be standing on the ground to receive the full dose, but it's still a powerful thing. No, I won't. Shut up. Or I actually could fix them all and then call Nightmare. That would be a good thing. That's actually a major plot hole that I think I already mentioned, but I wanted to also expand my thoughts on it a bit. I didn't realize it myself, I have to say. I've seen it on some other video. There was some review of Prey I watched afterwards, after I played it for the second time, I think. So the plot hole I was talking about is that if Blackbox operator are hidden within TranStar's database here on Talos I, why would they then program the system in such a way that if an alert, if the station-wide alert is issued, if there's ever a Typhon outbreak, why wouldn't the same thing happen? The exact same thing that happened when Doll hacked it. There should have been, you know, all these operators should have been released and, you know, to fight Typhon. unless it was the doll who brought the plans for them. But I doubt he is, because, you know, the Blackbox project in the hardware labs, because all the posters of Blackboxes around here, why would they take the plans of the station and just, you know, you get me? They must have been somewhere in the system. Ah, how could I forget about you, you bastard? You're gonna go off this place. Yeah, just about that place, to be fair. And they even know, and as you just heard, these operators have Typhon integrated into their system. So don't say that they wouldn't be prepared for this thing. So why wouldn't they be used? I don't know. It's not explained. So it's a problem, minor problem, but a big plot hole, and quite a major problem with the story. Either way, so now a couple more words about the ending, which I think is really amazing. And I mean the ending after the obvious blowing up the station or destroying the apex, you know, cinematic. I mean that's really cool that it's there. I also wished for more because it looks like not too complete, but the after credits scene, without it, the whole story of Prey would be so much weaker, and that is something beautiful, because it gives you, you know, it sheds a completely new light on the whole situation, because it no longer matters what you've chosen, because the choice between destroying the station and saving the station is really irrelevant. It's irrelevant, all things considered, to what the experiment was about. The thing that Alex was doing was basically, as we said already, installing mirror neurons into a phantom, possibly a phantom, maybe some other type of hybrid. It was basically the apocalypse. The Typhon had taken over the control over the entire Earth, or at least that's what we see from what he says. This is the world today. So we can't fully tell what that means. Is it the entire world like this, or is it just or is it America, or what? Or, you know, how much world does "this is the world" means? You know, I assume it would mean like the most of the world is captured like that. Yeah, it's controlled by the Typhon. I guess you could say that. So what else basically happens in the end is that the simulation ends. Yeah, you go through all the things. You either blow up or save the station, and then you have a choice, another final choice. Well, but before that happens, you're in front of Alex, significantly older-looking Alex, and 4 operators, each of them having like a personality of the people that were on the station. There's Dr. Igwe, there's Michaela Ilyushin, there's Daniel Shaw, and there is Sarah Elazar. And I'm wondering, what exactly are those operators? Are they the personality? Is it possible that Alex managed to transfer their personality, their consciousness into robots? Does that mean that everyone died? Can we even say that they were ever alive? That brings in many different things, where all these 4 characters made just for the sake for the simulation. I mean, I doubt it, because the simulation is supposed to be made based upon Morgan's memories. It all depends on how much based on Morgan's memories it is. The origin of the personalities of all those operators, and if all these characters were actually real humans or just made for the sake of simulation, that's all, of course, left to, you know, something that we only can speculate. But anyway, that's not really the most interesting thing about that sequence. For me, the most interesting thing is that how every single choice you've made, or rather how most choices you've made in the game, are being summed up. And it makes me feel like all of them matter. I doubt they all matter. I mean, they must have. They must matter because they changed something about the ending. Tiny thing, and that's true, but they do change it. And I just noticed that these small body parts are the same model as these big ones. Which makes me feel like just more evidence that Nightmare is just a more powerful version of a phantom. But I'll talk about that later. You fucking dick! You saw that? He knocked that Nightmare piece, the most valuable one, in here, and now it's where? Where is it? It's gone. It got bugged. It got bugged away. It got bugged away because of this little bastard. Maybe because we've reached the top of body parts that we can have around here. Let's recycle that before we make more. Yep, a lot of body parts, all to be destroyed right now. I'm glad they all did get destroyed. Heck yes, we've got so much stuff from it, to be fair. How about we do the second one in this corner? Or maybe before we do, let's do a thing I was thinking about. I have a bit of Neuromods, six Neuromods. I doubt hacking will be useful ever again, but we may try to increase that as well. But I don't know. I honestly don't believe it. I wanna try Backlash. And I now need 5 mods for this. So 2 more mods for that. And is the Nightmare going to show up? Oh yes. Oh yes he is. Oh yes he is, and we're going to... Oh! I can see him already. Fighting... Alright. He got blasted. Let's blast him with a... Alright, that's a problematic problem. Let's use the backlash. Do we have the... Yeah, I have the backlash. You wanna try that on me? Bitch! Haha! What now? Backlash worked. And now I don't know how to get out of this mess. Oh, you're almost dead. Well done. We did a really good job of killing a Nightmare together. In the most inconvenient place we could, to be fair. So anyway, but what's the most important thing about the ending is that the choice you're given. You're given the choice ultimately whether you want to, whether you understand humans and you want to help them, or you just kill them all, kill Alex and all the operators. And destroy all the operators with one giant blast. And just, you know, kill Alex, like, ugh. And I honestly don't know what's a better ending. You get that choice between being the good thing, which means the victory, the ultimate victory of humanity. Oh well, maybe not the ultimate victory, but it means that humanity has still a chance of getting, you know, of fighting the Typhon somehow, or, you know, making things maybe even peacefully with them. And the other choice is of course the ultimate failure of him, and this time it's really ultimate, because I imagine it's like the last resort thing either way, and it's, you know, it's gone. So yeah, my question now is, well, this ending is undoubtedly very cinematic. That's something I can't deny. It's an awesome ending. But there's usually a but about the ending, and this time is no different. Why would Alex be so careless? Why would Alex even allow for something like the other option to happen if it's an ultimate, a last resort kind of thing? I mean, I think the thing he should do is straight up killing the hybrid once it shows any signs of negative behavior like this. And how to, question is how to check that. Well, relatively simple, you just run a second simulation. Once this one is done, you run the simulation of that room in which you ask the exact question. If it agrees, you can let it go and say that it was the final last resort, the final precaution. So what I'm going to do now is call a second nightmare in. Hopefully this one will have 50, like they all should have, really.
Hello,
So yeah, from what I know, nightmares appear every time you install an alien Neuromod. However, if there was a nightmare and you evaded it, he won't appear in at least 15 minutes, and if you kill that nightmare, he won't appear in a half an hour. Now that brings me to another question. What does it take for the Typhon to create a nightmare? I mean, sure, for one phantom, they need one body. Yeah, I can understand that. But for a nightmare, they need significantly more mass itself. I honestly don't know how would they do that. I think that weavers would need to be probably involved in that. They would have to, you know, merge together. Like, I don't know, probably a couple of telepaths and maybe technopaths, maybe on top of that, maybe a phantom to, you know, to give it a shape. Maybe that's how they're made. I mean, they give slightly more. Normally they were giving, like, you know, 50 organs each, and now from now on they started getting 30 organs each. I don't know why. Either way, let me quick save. And now I'll do this. Go into data, go into audio logs, and attract nightmare. It worked. Alright, time for the backlash and all the other stuff, like for example, shotgun? Since I do have it. Is it still active? I was standing there without the backlash activated. Well, that was dangerous. How about I lift you into the air? Oh, that doesn't work on you. Why did I think that would work on you, honestly? I do not know. But you're dead, and that's what's important. And you have now 30 organs. Please tell me why you have 30 organs. You were once so generous to me. Once upon a time, you were the most generous creature on the station. You were giving 50 exotic every time 50 organs every time I would kill you, and now you're giving me a pitiful 30. Well, at that rate, I won't be able to reach, you know, it won't be 36 nightmares. I mean, to be honest, it won't be much less. It won't be much less. Because, look, this is just 360. Normally it would be 5 with 50, yeah? that's 360, and 180, that's 540 per each. Yeah, I could have just looked at that here. Which isn't necessarily bad, of course, but it is still not the amount satisfying enough for me. It's definitely, you know, it's much less than 780. Yeah. So yeah, I think we're done with the Arboretum. Let's head lower. Whoa, wait a second there. Hey there, people. Editing Mondays here. Sorry about that. As you can probably see, we're getting a bit too close to the 2-hour mark here. I really didn't think all of this would take so long when I started. Oh well. Before all of you doze off and leave, as if you haven't already, before that happens, I'm going to make a cut right here, and we will continue in the next part. How about that? Don't worry, this time it won't take over 2 months to do. For those who are still here, thanks for hanging around this long. Be sure to share your thoughts down below, and remember to rate the vid. Your opinion is always welcome here. So yeah, this one took a lot of time and effort to make. It would be really awesome if we could make it reach a lot of people. So if you can, please be sure to share it. Thanks again, and see you in the next episode of Prey.